Good morning, students. I'm really excited to reach you again on this platform after the compulsory break. I hope you are finding it easy and doing well at home. For me, it's a privilege to reach you again. So, I have this privilege to revise with you what you have been taught in class. So briefly, we will go through all that we have been taught together from week 1 to the time we departed from school. So we have number and numeration, which you all know, arithmetics, we have algebra, we have statistics, and we have geometry. So I want you to come with me in this revision class as we go through it together. I'm going to be very, very brief about it, but if you have any question, do well to reach out to me. I have missed a lot of you. I can remember a few names now because you have now been contacting me. So let's go quickly with the class. I have the first thing I want to revise is number and numeration. Numeration. Okay, this time in number and numeration we have done some topics like binary number system. Binary number system, all of us know. You and I know that in class we treated different writing system in binary number system. We have the likes of 1 that represent 1 in binary number system. You know that you can convert from 1 base. When we say binary number system, that's binary. It identifies base 2, base 2, base 2. When we say base 2, counting in base 2 is only limited to 2 numbers, 0 and 1. Anything above that, it's not base 2. So you would do yourself good to limit yourself to 0 and 1. This is the summary of binary number system. How does it relate to our day-to-day activity? You have your switch in the house, you have your switch, you have 0 and 1, on and off. On and off. So that relates to what we do at home. We have it related to different electronics. So it's applicable to everything that you do at home as you've been taught in class. Also, you have learned how you can relate computer to simple mathematics calculation. How does it relate? How does computer operate when it comes to responding to simple mathematics operation? It does this using binary number system, 0 and 1, 0 and 1. So please don't forget all of this. It's just going to be very brief. I will do some of this calculation when we get to arithmetics, where we have the addition, subtraction, and multiplication and division of binary number system. So please stay calm and sit tight as we go on this journey together. So that's one topic in numeration. We also have expression involving brackets and fractions. If you remember clearly, we did some expression involving fractions. Expressions like what? Take for example, I take it very, very simple now. 1/2 plus, or for instance, you have 1/2 into 3x plus 5/2x. How will you respond to this expression? This is a very simple expression, but if you don't know how to respond to it, it can be very, very challenging. So I want to plead with you and pray your indulgence that you should take it step by step. Step by step up. You're going to first open the brackets. You have a fraction outside the bracket that you ought to respond to first. You use this fraction to open this bracket bit by bit. So let's take it one after the other. 1/2, that's 1/2 multiplying 3x. 1/2 multiplying 3x. You can go this way or you deal with the bracket first. Remember your board mass. Board mass. Where your B stands for bracket, your O stands for off. Your D stands for division, your M stands for multiplication, your A stands for addition, and S stands for subtraction. So you're going to follow these rules, especially when you are having simple arithmetic or operations that has to do with brackets. Wherever you are having something like this, you are going to first deal with the bracket first, because that's what the rule says. So please follow the rules. So for something like this, we'll go straight by dealing with this. It's either you go this with this, or you deal with the bracket first. If I want to deal with the bracket first, I would go with LCM. What's the LCM here? What's the least common multiple? That's LCM. Least common multiple here is 2. This over 1 is 2. Now, you take it bit by bit. 1 in 2. How many 1 do you have in 2? You have 2 of it. So you write your 2, open a bracket. You write out the numerator. And what's the numerator? You have 3x plus 2 in 2. You have 1. So you write out your 1. And what is the numerator? You have 5x. So with this, you can simplify this expression. You have 1 over 2. That's 1 upon 2. 2 multiply 3x will give you 6x. Plus 1 multiply 5x will give you 5x. All upon 2. Everything here will give you 1 upon 2, 11x over 2. Looking at this, you would have the result to be 11x. That's 1 multiplying 11x. All upon 2 multiplying 2 will give you 4. This is what is the result of your simple expression. So anytime you are having an expression like this, you should do well to follow the rules. BODMAS. Bracket first, of, division, multiplication, addition, then subtraction. Please follow the rules. It will profit you as you follow the rules. Again, I move to arithmetics. Now under arithmetics, that's where we have binary operations in its various forms. Let me give an instance. Under arithmetic now, arithmetics. Under arithmetics, take for instance, you have, for addition now, addition, you have 1, 1, 1, all base 2, plus 1, 0, 1. If you are adding this now, first thing first, you have to remember what is the rules under addition. Under addition, you have certain rules, especially when it comes to binary operation. You have rules. You will get all of these in the slides. You can reference the slides that is given to you. Now, under addition, the rules now, rules. You have 1 plus 1. 1 plus 1 will give you 2. But because this is binary operation, you cannot write 2. Why can't you write 2? Because the highest number here is 1. So you have to divide the 2 by the base. 2 divided by 2 will give you 1. You are left with 0. 1 remainder 0. So automatically this satisfies the rules of binary operation. So your answer is 10. So under binary operation, 1 plus 1 is 10. Don't forget that. That's rule number 1. Rule number 2, 1 plus 0 is equal to 1. 0 plus 1 is equal 1. 0 plus 0 is equal 0. Please, these rules are very, very important. As minute as they are, they can help you to go through this operation in a very simple and easy way if you can follow the rules. So let's do this. Knowing this now, let's do this operation together. I hope you're still with me. Okay, now if it was in class, I would have called Mutmaina or Mariam, or I would have called Nahim to answer this. But since you're not here, please let's do this together. 1 plus 1, you have what? 10. From the rules, you have 10. You write 0, you carry 1. Now you have 1 and 1. 1 plus 0 1 plus 0 will give you 1. But you have a remainder here that gives you 10. So you write 0 and carry 1. Now you are having 1 plus 1 plus 1. That's 3 digits. Now 1 plus 1 plus 1. Normally 1 plus 1 plus 1 will result into 3. But can you write 3? No. This does not satisfy the binary rule. So for you to satisfy the binary rule, you have to divide this 3 by the base. What is the base? The base is 2. So we have 3 all upon 2. How many 2 do we have in 3? That's 1, the remainder 1. I don't have to go the primary school way, but if you want, so that you'll not be confused, let's go the primary school way. Now we have 1, 2, 3. How many 2 do we have here? We have 1. 1 of it, because 1, 2. Remaining 1. So that's why we have 1, remaining 1. So with this, we can write 1, 1, because 1, 1, 11 satisfy the binary rule. So with this now, we'll write 1. We have remaining 1, you write out the 1 because there's nothing to add it with actually. So that is under addition when it comes to binary operation in arithmetics. So this is addition. Let's take some 1 or 2 examples under subtraction. Now if I am going to change this, using the same example, change it to subtraction, we change. What will be the rules? The new rule will change. It will change to 1 minus 1, which will give us 0. Now, 0 minus 1 is not possible. You have to borrow 1. And mind you, under binary operation, if you're borrowing 1, what you borrow is the base. You borrow the base. What's the base? The base is 2. You borrow 2. So if you are to borrow 1 from the other number, you borrow 2. So get that and note that. 1 minus 0 is 1. So these are the rules that we have under binary operation for subtraction. Now if I'm to use this to solve this question now, 1 minus 1 will result to 0. Now this also is base 2. 1 minus 0 will result to 1. 1 minus 1 will result to 0. So our final answer will be 10 base 2. The base will be subscript. So you write it down like this. This is how to represent it in binary operation. So this is under subtraction. This under subtraction. And under multiplication now, let me take an example under multiplication. When you do multiplication, under multiplication, it is same as normal multiplication. It's same as normal multiplication. It's just that you would give reference to the number not going beyond or above the base. It must not exceed the base. You must give consideration to that. So let's do this multiplication together. If I'm using the same example, 1, 1, 1, multiply, which is in base 2, multiplying 1, 0, 1, also in base 2. Now for us to do this 1, we pick it one after the other from the left. The first number, 1. 1 multiplied by 1 will give us 1. 1, same 1 multiplied by the second number here is 1. Same 1 multiplied by the third number here is 1. So with this, you've exhausted using this on all of this number. You go to the second. The second, you have 0 multiplied by 0 multiplied by 1. You have 0. Now the position will be the second under the second digit. The second digit. Same thing, multiply by this, 0, multiply by this, 0. Do you see the positioning? The positioning is very, very important to give you the right results expected. Now for this, the next number, which is the third number, you have 1 multiplying 1, you have 1 under the third digit. 1 multiplying 1, 1, 1 multiplying 1, 1. Now after doing this, you can now add them together. While adding them together, you follow the addition rule. The rule for addition. 1 plus nothing, you have 1. 1 plus 0, 1. You have 1 plus 0 is 1 plus 1. That is 2. And you know 2 will give us, if you have operated it with the base, it would result to 10. So you have 0 carry 1. 1 plus 0 is 1 plus 1. That will give you 10, which is 2. But we use 10 here, carry 1. The same thing follows here. You write your final answer as 1 and 0 because that's the last operation you have there. So this is your final answer, base 2. Don't forget to put your base. Your base tell us what operation or what base it is from. So that's under multiplication. Same as division. For division, so that you will not be confused, I advise that you first make conversion. You can convert all of these to base 10. Now I want to show you how to make conversion to base 10. If you are finding conversion or you are finding division in binary number difficult or looking a kind of scary, you can convert all of your values to base 10. And conversion to base 10 is very simple. It's just like eating popcorn. So let's do it together. Now, conversion to base 10. Conversion to base 10 before we deal with division. Now, under division. Division. Division of what? Of binary numbers. Binary numbers. So division of binary numbers. Now, for us to carry out this division, for example, 1 base 2 divided by 1 base 2. Now, if this is difficult for you to do directly, you can also, it's very simple, you can use the long division method. You can also use the normal division by converting it to base 10 first. You convert all of the digits to base 10. Then you can convert it or divide it first before converting it back to base 2. Now this is what I mean by that explanation. For the first one, the first digit here, you have of the first number, you have. Now I want to convert it to base 10. Now up here, number is 0, 1, 2. Why am I doing this? Is so that I can make my conversion easy. The number, that's the first number, multiplied by the base. What's the base? The base is 2. Then you raise it to the power of what is up here. In the number, you have 2. You put it in bracket, why? So that you not be confused. So we have plus, you have the next number. The next number here is 1 raised to power 1. That's 1 multiplied by the base raised to power what you have up here. Now same as the last one, 1 multiply the base raised to power 0. Now you make your conversion easy by simplifying it. 2 to power 2 will give us 4 plus 2 to power 1 will give us 2. That's now 2 to power 0. Any number raised to power 0 will give us 1. Any number raised to power 0 will be 1. Now you make it simple, simplify it. 1 times 4 will give us 4 plus 1 times 2, 2 plus 1 times 1 is 1, which will result to 7 base 10. Now you've converted this to base 10. You do the same to this. Now converting this to base 10, let's do the same for this. We have to convert it now, it will result to 1 multiplied by the base raised to the power 2 plus 1 multiplied by the base raised to the power 0. So this will result to 1 times 2 plus, because 2 raised to the power 1 will result to 2, plus 1 times 2 raised to the power 0 would result to 1. Anything raised to the power 0 results to 1. So 1, which is equal to 2 plus 1, which will give us 3. Now 3 base 10. 3 base 10. For the first value, we have 7 base 10. And the second value, we have 3 base 10. Now it is time to divide. Now you make your division simple. You get whatever is your answer. After getting your answer, you convert it back to base 2. And with that, you make your work simple. You make your work simple. I want to, at this point, advise that as you are home, you can make yourself useful. For those of you that have Evergreen, that's the NECO past question, Laswell. You can make yourself useful at home by making a lot of practice. You can time yourself. See, I tell you, proper preparation prevents poor performance. You can give yourself a target. I will do 6 questions today. I will solve 5 questions tomorrow. And with that, before you know, you're solving 30 questions per day. And if you encounter any challenge, you can reach to me through the school address. You can reach to me through my WhatsApp. You can reach to me. You can reach to any of the mathematics teacher for help. Now is the time you can do this very well. With this, it leads me to algebra. Algebra, it's what I'll just give a quick revision. Now, under algebra, we have done simplification of fractions. Not only fractions, expressions that has to do with variables, alphabets, and numbers, how to really simplify these expressions. And with this, we are able to check past questions, relate questions to questions, and we're able to come to a point where we see that, okay, we can actually solve this. And it led us to solving quadratic equations too. What do I mean by quadratic equations? Now, under algebra, we have expressions like, we have quadratic equations, we have quadratic expressions. We have expressions like 2, this. Now, this is a different expression. It's an expression. You can simplify this expression. You can make it simpler than this. You also have examples like this. We have a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. You have expressions like this also. But whatsoever form the expression is given to you, you should just know that you have a method to go about it. Now, this is the sum of roots. This is sum of roots. And this is the product of roots. Product of roots. You have to check it carefully. Anytime you have something like this, or better still, I give a better example that will help us to solve and result to an answer. I give you an example now. Example like x squared plus 4x. For example now, we have x squared plus 5x plus 6. Now, I want to use this privilege to explain to you why this is sum of roots and this is product of roots. Sum of roots and product of roots. With this, we can get 2 brackets that would result to giving us the same quadratic equation again. So, to do this now, you have to look for 2 factors. 2 factors that you add together that would give you this, and 2 factors that you multiply. Same factors, same numbers that you multiply to give you this. If you think closely, you will have 2x plus 3x plus 2x plus 3x. Now having these 2 now, 2x plus 3x will give you 5x. Now 2x times 3x will give you 6. Now you have to compare this with this. So at first and foremost, let me erase this so that we can get it clearly. Want to change this to two brackets now. Now changing this to two brackets, you look for two numbers, two factors that can replace this. So what are these two factors? They are 2x plus 3x. Now I want to use this to replace this. We have x squared plus 2x plus 3x plus 6. Now you see we have used this 2 to replace this. It's still same as 5x when you sum them together. Now with what we have here, we can change it to two brackets. What's common between these two? If you look closely, you would observe that you have x that is common. X is common. You bring out what is common. That's you factorize and you're trying to factorize what is here. Factorizing what is here now, you have what is common outside. So what will you multiply with x that will give you x squared? The only thing you can multiply with x is x. So x times x will give you x squared. Now you have plus, what will you multiply by x that would result to 2x? Now you have x times 2. So you got one bracket already. Now what's common between these two? What is common between, you have plus 3. Plus 3, you can find plus 3 here. You can also get plus 3 here. That's 2 of it. 3 plus 3 will give you 6 plus 6. So you have another bracket. What's common between this has been brought out. Now what will you multiply by 3 to give you 3x? What you will multiply by 3 to result to 3x is x. So you have x plus, what will you multiply by 3 that would result to 6 is 2. You have 2 because plus 3 times plus 2 will give you plus 6. Now with this, you will notice that these two brackets are the same, and that's how it must always be, especially when you are solving quadratic expression or equation. So with this now, we can pick one of these. Since these two are the same, you pick one of these, that's x plus 2. Then you bring this together in one bracket again, plus 3. So this has brought us to the end of factorizing this expression, quadratic expression. So we have been able to factorize it to result to two brackets. So anytime you have a question, either in your past question or in any way you find find a question, maybe in textbooks, and you're trying to solve, this is how to go about solving quadratic equation, factorizing quadratic expression or equation. So you have to look for what is common between them, and carefully you bring it to a simple term like this. So with this, I move to geometry. Now this time in geometry, we have been able to consider similar shape. Similar shape, similar triangle, similar rectangle, similar shape in whatsoever form it can present itself. Now under geometry, similar shape, similar shapes, similar shapes, similar shapes. I've taught you different ways you can address similar shapes, but I will quickly go through some revision now to refresh our mind on what is expected of us to know and what we have been taught on similar shapes. Now, having something like this, two shapes like this, they might not be of the same size. It's not compulsory they are of the same capacity. So if you have shapes like this, you have 5 here, you have 2 here, and you have x here, you have 3 here. For you to obtain what is here, you have to compare. You have to make comparison of this shape. comparison of this shape. So to make comparison of this shape, take for example, you have for this shape, you have the big one upon the small one. Now you have big upon small. You compare it equal to big upon small. So now with this you can cross multiply. You cross multiply. When you cross multiply, it means that from here, it means that 5 will multiply 3. Now 5 multiplying 3, you have 5 times 3 equal 2 will multiply x. 2 times x multiplied by x. Now what will it result to? You have 15 equal 2x. Divide both sides by 2. You have this. X will be equal 7.5. 7.5. So it means that for you to obtain this unknown, which was tag x, you have to use the idea of similar shape where you compare. Whatever form it might be presented to you. I give you another example. Imagine you are given a shape like this. You are given a big triangle like this, and over here you have x, you have 6 here, and you have 2 here, you have 8 here, all in centimeters. And you want to know what is the unknown here. For you to obtain what is the unknown here, you have to use this idea of similar shape. You have to compare sides. Now comparing sides, this one will be this upon this, and the total of this upon the small one. Now let's compare it together now. To solve this now, we have the big one, 6 centimeters upon x, which is the unknown. Then equal the total length. The total length is 2 plus 8 upon the small one, which is 2. So it's big upon small. So with this we have 6 all over x, which is equal to 10 over 2. So for you to have it all, for you to obtain the value of the unknown x, you have to cross multiply. For you to cross multiply, you have 10 multiplying x, which will give you 10x, equal 6 times 2. 6 times 2. Now we have 10x equal 12. Now you divide both sides by 10 for you to obtain your x. This will cross this. Your final answer for your x will be 1.2 centimeter. Why? Because 12 divided by 10 will give you 1.2. I hope that you understand to a level. You can try other examples using the same method to see if you would obtain the same results. Now I move to statistic. Under statistic this time, we have been able to treat questions relating to mean, statistic. Under statistic, this term we have been able to treat questions on mean, median, mode, and range. Now, if I may ask you, what is mean? Mean is the sum of all the items you're given, or the values you're given, all over the number of items given. For instance, you are given 1, 2, 5, 3, 4, and you are asked to get the mean. Now, the first thing you do is the sum of all of it, your mean, which is also represented by x bar, is equal to the sum of all 1 plus 2 plus 5 plus 3 plus 4, all upon 5. Why? How did I get 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 items were given, so that is why it is all upon 5. Now 1 plus 2, 3 plus 5, 8 plus 3, 11 plus 4, is 15. So you have 5. 15 over 5. So therefore, your mean will result to 3. Your mean is 3. So with this, you see, this is how you calculate your mean. You sum all the values. That's in raw data. Now in group data, if you are presented, or if your question is presented mostly in tabular form, or if you are to present your results in tabular form in group data, you have to use this formula. Your mean is equal to sum of f, which is the frequency, multiplied by x, divided by the summation of frequency, sum of frequency. This is the value, or this is the formula you use for your mean when it's presented in a tabular form. Now, for instance, take for example, you are giving your mean like this. You have the number, you have the frequency, and you can choose to put your tally here, your tally, your frequency. Now, depending on the value you are giving, imagine we are giving 1, the number of times we have 1 to be 2, the number of times we have, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. These are the number of items we're given. Now, the number of 2, you have 1. Number of 3, you have 2. Number of 4, we have 2. Number of 5, we have 3. Now, this, using the tally system, you're not going to write it like this. You're going to write it in this form. 1, 1 for 2, which is 2 here. 1 for 1, which is also 1. For 2, you have 1, 1. Then you have 2 here. For 2 here, then you have 2. Then you have 2 here. For 3, you have 1, 2, 3. Then you have 3 here. Now, this is the result of your work, assuming we have something like this. Now, to present this in this form, to be able to obtain your work or obtain your mean, you have to multiply this number that represents x, multiply it by your frequency. To multiply it by your frequency, what will you obtain? What you obtain is this. You're trying to obtain your f of x. 1 times 2 will give you 2. 1, 2 times 1, 2. 3 times 2, 6. 4 times 2, 8. 5 times 3, 15. Now you look for the sum of all of this number for your fx. That's for your fx. Now sum of fx, if you add it together, 2 plus 2, 4, plus 6, that will give you 10, plus 8, 18, plus 15, that's 8, 18 plus 15, that will give you 33. That will give you 33. So from here, you have your f of x, the sum of your f of x to be 33. All over the sum of your f, that's your frequency. 2 plus 3, plus 2 plus 1, 3, plus 2, 5, plus 2, 7, plus 3, 10. So you have divided by 10. It means your frequency or your mean when it comes to group data, tabular form, is 3.3. So that is your mean when it comes to tabular form. Now I move to median. Median is the middle number when it is arranged either in ascending or descending order. Don't forget that. You have to first arrange it in ascending or descending order. Without arranging in ascending or descending order, you are sure you're not going to get your answer, you're not going to obtain the right answer if you actually want to get the right answer. So that is median. Median is the middle number. For example, using this same example that we have on the board, if we are asked to obtain the median. Median is the middle number. Now for me to obtain the median of this number now, set of numbers, I have to arrange it. Now I want to arrange it in ascending order. Ascending order. I will have to start from the small to the big. Now that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I crossed one, cross the last one, cross another, cross the second to the last. Now it shows that the number left alone at the middle is 3. And that is the middle number. It may amaze you that for some value, because these are odd numbers. If you count it, it's odd, it's not even. That is why you can obtain one single value. But when the median is 2, what do? What you do actually is simple. You will add the two numbers obtained together divided by 2. If you divide it by 2, that will give you the actual answer or the actual value of the median. So with this, you are able to arrange or you are able to obtain your median. But be sure, the first thing first, arrange your number either in ascending order, starting from small to big. We are able to arrange our data, our values in ascending order, all from small to big. Now, if you want to arrange it in descending order from big to small, so that will help you to arrange effectively your data and obtain your median. So with that, you can try other questions. Remember, practice make perfect. If you don't practice, that which you want to be perfect in, you cannot attain perfection. So practice is very, very important. So make practice. You can get past questions from your questions, NECO past questions, and try a lot of these questions, and you see yourself making waves in this. So the next sub-heading is mode. The mode is the number or is the value with the highest occurrence. Is the value with the highest occurrence. Imagine, or take for example, you're having 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 5, 4, 3, 2, 3. Now, if you check clearly or if you check carefully, you would notice that 3 appeared 3 times, while 2 appeared only 2 times. So the mode automatically is 3. So the mode is the number with the highest occurrence or the number or the value with the highest frequency. The value with the highest frequency is actually the mode of the distribution. So that is that on mode. Now on range, as I cap it up and solve some revision question. I know you'll be very interested in the revision question because this is past question, it's pure past question from NECO. So please pay attention. Now range. Using the same example, the range. The range. Using the same example, 1, 2, 5, 4, 3. Now, if you have values like this or data like this, what is the range? Range is the difference between the highest value minus the smallest value. Difference between the highest and the smallest value. What is the highest value? You have to identify. This is the highest. This is highest. Why the smallest is this? Be careful to note what is the highest value and what is the smallest value in the distribution. So from here we have highest minus smallest, which is equal to 5 minus 1. So the range of the distribution is 4. The range of your distribution is 4. So with this has brought us to a brief presentation, the end of a brief presentation for our class thus far, what we have done this term before the sudden closure of school. So I would want to do this question or solve these questions with us. I want you to pay attention. These are revision questions. I want you to pay attention. I'm about to wrap it up. So please pay attention to these revision questions. Question 1. Solve the equation. We have to solve the equation. And this equation is 2x plus 1 all over 3x plus 4 equal 2 over, 3 plus 4x, 2 over 3. Now, seeing this equation now, what will you do to an equation like this? What is expected of you? The first thing for a smart student, what is expected of you is to cross multiply. Straight away. You don't waste your time, cross multiply. Cross multiply would lead you to have two different parts of an equation. Now, if I'm to cross multiply, I will have it like this. 3 would multiply 2x plus 1 and equal to 2 will multiply 3 plus 4x. So what am I to do here, or what are you supposed to do here? You are to open this bracket. Opening the bracket, you have 6x plus 3, meaning 2 will multiply, 3 will multiply 2x, and also after that, 3 will multiply 1, which would result to, this now, 2 multiply 3, you have 6, plus 2 multiply 4x, you have 8x. Now, the next thing, you are to collect like terms. Collecting like terms, you have what? You have 6x minus 8x. Why is it minus 8x? 8x jump the equal sign, and it will affect, jumping the equal sign will make it to affect the sign of the value. So with this, we have equal 6. 3x jump the equal sign to have 3. So with this, minus 3. With this, we have minus 2x equal 3. If you divide both sides by minus 2 because you want to obtain your x, you have minus 2, minus 2. Minus cancel minus, 2 cancel 2. Our x is equal to minus 3 over 2. So this is what your answer should be, minus 3 over 2. With this, you are able to know, or you are able to know of certainty that your answer is correct if you have followed all the steps. So this is an example of what we have done this term. Now take under geometry now. Under geometry, looking for perimeter of a shape. This is also a past question. Calculate. You are asked to calculate the value of x. If the perimeter is 72. If the perimeter is 72, you are asked to calculate the value of x from the shape below. This is the shape. Now the shape is given different value. Here you have 5x plus 9, while in the other place you have 7x plus 3, and the last part you have 3x plus 15. 3x plus 15. Now to solve this, what do you do? Perimeter. What is perimeter, if I may ask? Perimeter is the sum of all the sides of a shape. The sum of all the sides of a shape. Now, the perimeter has been given, so what do you do to obtain the value of your known x? You are to add all these sides together. Add them together, so it will result to 5x plus 9 plus 3x plus 15 plus 7x plus 3, all equal to the perimeter. The perimeter is 72. Now the first thing, you open the bracket, you pick all of the values of the values with x. Now you have 5x plus 3x plus 7x. Now you pick the values without x. That's 9 plus 15 plus 3 equal to 72. If you add all of these together, it will give you 17x. 17x. That would be the result. 17x. Now, if you add all of these together, what will you have? You will have 9 plus this, which will give you 24, plus this, which will give you 28, equal 72. 72. Now, if you subtract it, that's 17x. No, sorry, 15x. 15x, not 17. 15x plus 28 equal 72. Now, what are you supposed to do from here? What you're supposed to do is you collect like terms. 15x equals 72 minus 28. That's what you have. Now 15x equals 45. 45. Now 72 minus 28. 72 minus 28. Is it 45? Okay, now this will result to 44. 44. It will result to 44 instead of 45. 44. So divide both sides by 15. You divide both sides by 15. This will cancel this. Your x will give you. You can write it in mixed fraction or in how many 15 do you have in 44? You have 2. That's 2 whole number. What is left? You are left with 14. 14 over 15. This will be the value of your x. This is the value of your x. So you have other questions like that. You can have questions in binary operations, like questions in binary operation where you have find the value of y. You are asked to obtain the value of y from the expression. Now, that would be the last question. Find the value of y. Of y. You have y base 2. Y base 2 multiplied by 1, 1, 1 base 2, which is equal 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1 base 2. Now, if you have a question like this and you want to solve it to obtain your value or the value of your y, what you have to do first is to convert everything to base 10. Convert it all to base 10. If you're able to convert it to base 10, then you can now solve. This will be the last question for this revision class. Now converting it to base 10 now. You pick it one after the other, or you can do it together. Now doing it together, you have y. This is raised to power 0 times 2 times 2 raised to power 0. Then this one, 0, 1, 2, this 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This will be the power, the power of the base when you multiply. That's times, you pick them one after the other. 1 times 2 raised to power 2 plus 1 times 2 raised to power 1 plus 1 times 2 raised to power 0. Now, equal to, you've exhausted this part. You come to this part now. Equal 1 times 2 raised to power 5 plus 1 times 2 raised to power 4 plus 1 times 2 raised to power 3 plus the next one is 0. So you have 0 times 2 raised to power 2. Then plus the next one is 0. 0 times 2 raised to power 1 plus 1 times 2 raised to power 0. Having something like this, you can make it simpler for yourself by bringing out what is the value of this unknown. So this will give us y times 1, 2 raised to power 0. Anything raised to power 0 is 1. So don't forget that. For this, you have 1 times 4, followed by this plus 1 times 2, followed by this, you have 1 times anything raised to power 0 is 1. Equal, now, equal what? 1 times 2 raised to the power 5 is 32. Is 32. So you have 32 plus 2 raised to the power 4 is 16. 1 times 16 plus 2 raised to the power 3 is 8. 1 times 8 plus 2 raised to the power 2 is 0. 0 times 4 plus 0 times 2 plus 1 times 1. So having this now, you make